Big shout out to Bean Working Espresso down in Skyring Terrace, Newstead.
Best coffee in the game.
Best absolute coffee in the game. Hooking the Platform podcast and any listeners up with a 10% discount.
Shout out.
Shout out to Yolanda.
Yolanda.
That was a mouthful.
Their coffee's real fucking good. Get
Best
it.
coffee in the game, by far. Just opened up Skyring Terrace. You can order ahead and mention the Platform podcast for a 10% discount. This is the Platform podcast with B-Bad and Brandon. The only good Bo I know is Bo Ryan. Only because he's fucking hilarious.
As in the
but he's
guy
Bo
who's been on
Ryan.
the footy show.
Yeah.
Right. What happened to him, bro? He fucking.
I'm pretty sure he's still on the footy show.
Is he?
Oh.
Is there still a footy show though?
Yeah, it's just nowhere near as good.
That's fucking. Aaron Mullen ruined that, mate.
Yeah, she did.
Fuck that, eh?
Fuck, it was
She
so...
never got rid of Fatty, mate. To be honest.
Yeah.
Fatty, Sterlo, Chief, and Matty Johns. That was like the golden age of the footy show.
That was the footy show.
And they brought Aaron Mullen in, and just like. And they brought Michael Slater in. Remember when they brought Slats in? Slats in. You're like, fuck, Slats is a cricketer. What the fuck are you doing?
Because I remember, was it Sterlo that left first?
Yeah, apparently they were all having dramas with Fatty because it was like Fatty saw it as his show apparently, and he used to be like, it's my way or the highway, which rubbed a couple of them up the wrong way. Like Chief apparently and him had massive dramas. Chief might have gone first, and then there was the dramas with Matty Johns with cheating on his wife and that Mad Monday sort of thing. So the channel said to him, we can't have you on Channel 9 anymore.
Oh, that's right, he's on Fox now.
Yeah, they flicked him, and then it was sort of from there. I can't even remember who they brought on, but Aaron Mullen was one of the first, and it's just like, what the fuck, bro? Like,
It changed so much.
Yeah.
From, exactly, the golden age of...
to just shit.
Oh.
Because a lot of networks and had to be like, oh, we got to put a woman lead in, to show that, like, to attract that sort of crowd because it's, empowering women. We need to have more women on, which I get, but it's like, but you've never played rugby league, like.
Yeah, but then you lose the core of what the footy show was.
Exactly right.
It's like
it's all ex-players and.
Do you remember when Fatty, they did that skit and Fatty fell out of the van and really fucked himself?
He smashed his head, bro.
And then
he was never the same, apparently.
Yeah. And then Sterlo had a family passing, so it was just Chief and Matty Johns having the show for about 2 weeks, and it was the worst.
Yeah.
Like, Fatty fucking made that show, and then Sterlo obviously, complimented him.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they lost that...
Yeah, it's gone. But it was good for a long time.
It was. Yeah. But yeah, Bo Ryan, fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he was funny.
I spend a lot of time on YouTube just watching Bo's nose.
See, I haven't seen anything about Bo for fucking ages, bro. I just thought he
too
went to the
funny.
wilderness.
It's just too funny.
He was a funny guy.
But, as we digress and get back to the podcast, everyone who's listened so far would hear that brilliant, deep voice. And you have been quoted as the tanned, mystical giant of the North Side.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So welcome, Matt Petersen.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.
There will be a clap in the audio.
Yeah, cool.
And Johnny, the first question.
Mr. Matt,
Yes.
with 21 words, who you are, what you do.
And
Now,
that's
we're
it.
going to count all the words and sounds.
Jesus, that's pressure, mate.
When
So hang on.
you're ready
Who I am and what?
and what you do. When you are, this is just a warning shot. We count that. Are you ready?
Ready. So Matthew Petersen's my name, and I'm a strength coach for men.
That's it.
That's it.
11 words.
Well done.
Now,
Yeah, definitely did. I love how you were very direct with what exactly you were. Cause remember Luke's? Have you listened to Luke Polly's episode?
Nah, mate, I'll have to go home and listen to it.
It's hilarious.
It's good. He bangs the table.
Yeah,
What?
He bangs the table.
Bangs the table?
No, he doesn't. Okay.
No, he does.
Yeah, he does.
really
But like
sort of
when Luke emphasized, and we weren't as high tech thanks to these lads at that point.
Yeah, right.
But it's not that he's banging the table.
Yeah.
It's just that to emphasize his point, he's touching the table, but due
Yeah,
to the size of his
arm.
hand, it's just like this,
All the time.
which is just like, fuck me,
Oh,
Luke.
dear.
Fuck. Now, with your 21 words, you were very obviously direct, but it didn't really explore everything that you've done in your time. You've been in the industry fucking
10 years.
10, wow, fuck. That's a long time.
Yep.
And we were discussing before we started, we met back when I was still in school.
Yep.
And you were training out of Good Life Chermside for,
Yep.
I think, bodybuilding at the time.
Yeah, well, I was still playing rugby then. That would have been like 2008, 9, around there. Yeah, so I was still playing Premier Grade rugby at that stage. But yeah, I sort of started getting into gym with a couple of mates of mine because obviously we had to do gym for footy.
Yeah. You
so
played at a high level in rugby, though.
Yeah. I played Premier grade for Norse and Queensland under-19s and that sort of stuff. My goal was to be a professional footy player, rugby player. So yeah, I just love training. That was the biggest thing. Just love training. And so I was down at Good Life Champs, so I pretty much lived there, mate, 5-6 days a week while I was playing footy, and got to know you pretty much back then, mate.
Was he a pest as a child in high school?
I would have been.
Mate, to be honest, I don't actually remember.
Oh, he doesn't remember you.
I remember you. I remember you, but I don't remember if you're a pest or not.
I still remember. You probably don't. This is probably the most bro advice you'd ever give. But I still remember asking this guy back when I was like I still am skinny, but like a lot skinnier. I was like, how the fuck do you get big? And he's just like, best advice I've ever heard. He's like, just don't drink gallons of water while you're eating. He's like, just sip on it when you need, and then just fucking get as much food in as you can. I have lived by that for the last 12 years, bro.
I remember telling you that. Yeah. That's right, mate. You got to try and get in. You got to try and get as much food as possible. So
literally, I was like,
yeah, that's right.
Blew my brain.
And did you run it?
Bro, this is all I've been doing for the last 12 years.
Look at him, man. Look at him. Look at the
I was
size he's put on.
fucking like 75 kilos back then. Currently sitting at 108. So
There you go, eh?
yeah, don't drink gallons of water while you're eating food, people.
No, you don't need to, mate. No.
Don't need to fill up on that.
No, you don't, mate. It's like filling up on green vegetables. You don't need it, mate.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Get your meat and your rice and your potatoes in, mate.
I fucking love
That
that.
other shit's a waste of space.
It is, mate. It is. It is. Get rid of it.
So from there, you're obviously playing rugby. And
Mm-hmm.
what made you give up, or not give up, but stop that? Was it injury?
No. I don't know. Like, I sort of lost my passion for rugby a little bit. It used to be all I used to do, like live and breathe and train rugby. And then I got into the gym and I started going to gym a little bit more. And then I was just like, I started to enjoy training more so than playing.
Yep.
And I was about maybe 22 at the time, and I was captaining Prems at that stage. So I was captaining guys that were playing for the Reds and would come back to club footy sort of thing. So like, I've always sort of been like seen as a leader, I suppose. So I was leading men, and I didn't really, I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? I didn't know sort of thing. And then, man, it was a lot of pressure for me at the time. And then I sort of just lost my drive to play a little bit. And then I just got into gym, bro. And honestly, then I just gave footy away and started training in the gym. So I just want to be a bodybuilder. Because I used to love big guys. You know what I mean? I just want to be like that, you know? And obviously, playing footy, you can't. Like, I was only 88, 90 kilos playing rugby. And I was just like, the more gym I did and the bigger I started to get, it was just harder and harder to sort of
Move around the paddock.
Yeah. And as soon as you lose your interest, bro, it's like if you lose interest in lifting, you know, it becomes a chore. And footy training started to become a chore. I was like, man, I'd rather be in the gym, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I had a really good training partner at the time, and we just used to, just rip in at the gym. And
Oh, I remember.
yeah.
There was what was his name again?
Timmy.
This
Timmy
cunt
Collins.
would rock up in his high vis, and he was a strong motherfucker.
Yeah, he was strong, bro.
Well, was it Monday bench day, Tuesday back day?
Oh, no,
Wednesday,
we didn't
Wednesday?
really have it. We didn't follow I didn't have any sort of idea about training programs, nutrition. Back then, bro, I knew nothing. You know, it was just more, let's just go to gym and lift as heavy as we fucking could, bro. You know what I mean? Like, we'd sort of talk to a couple of guys we'd see in the gym. Like, Big Mick back then was massive.
Yes.
The PT, he was bodybuilder back then.
Yeah, well, he was walking around at $135.
Yeah, massive.
With no neck.
Yep.
Like, this gun would literally and have to waddle.
Yes, he was huge, bro.
Fucking huge.
Yeah, so we just sort of talked to, those sort of guys.
Remember Josh Pierce?
Yeah, Piercy.
Yeah,
Yep.
fuck.
All those guys back then,
He's
mate.
still massive, dude.
Yeah. I don't really see much of him on socials.
No,
but
he's not very active but
yeah, there's a couple of big boys, and we just sort of talk to them. What do you guys do? What should we do? And we do a bit of strongman training. Like, we did a bit of strongman as well as gym. But for us, man, it was just more about, there's no substitute for just like going hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just going hard every session. We just go so fucking hard, bro. And then we just loved it. So that's where
It'd be they'd be the two guys that everyone would just stop in the gym and watch because they were just doing ridiculous shit. And I remember there was one session it must be when you were training for that comp with Big Mick,
the
the
bodybuilding
Nabba.
comp. Yeah, Nabba.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I don't know how many plates were on this leg press.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
It was all of them, and it was like. And back then, this is when Good Life had those really fucking sick leg presses before they updated everything. And you could load this cunt up to at least 500-600 plus. I don't even know. And like, all you'd hear is just Matt
screaming
for like a 20 rep set. And you're like, glory. This
we
poor
didn't
cunt.
know any better. And I didn't know I was strong either. To me, that was just what we did. You know what I mean? Like, that was just what we just turned up and went so hard, bro. And I had no idea that I was sort of stronger than anyone else or whatever until a couple of years later. when someone said maybe you should go and start doing powerlifting. I was like, what's that? yeah. So
What's that funny little outfit they wear?
yeah. Because I started seeing, like, back then there was no Instagram, but there was Facebook, and I started seeing videos of like Josh Tate, Nathan Wallace, and they're like at bio, deadlifting and squatting. I was like, fuck, these guys are massive, but they're strong as well. You know, like what's this all about? And then it wasn't until I think it was either you or Michael Adams maybe went to Hodges. Yeah. And was getting some coaching, and I was like, oh, who's this guy, sort of thing, and I went and sussed him out and did a couple of sessions, and he strength tested me, and he's like, bro, like, you should powerlift. Like,
The understatement of the year was.
Yeah, and I was like, you know, well, what's that? And then he told me what it was, and then, we went into a prep, I think, so, yeah, it was...
Do you remember, obviously you remember we spoke about it, but do you remember the first comp?
Yeah, busting nut, busting nut at Eatonsill, that was 2014 or 13? 14, yeah.
And what, do you remember your first numbers?
Yeah, so I finished there at squatted 315, bench 200, and dead 315 as well.
Not bad first comp.
Yeah. Not a bad first comp.
Turns out they were right.
Yeah.
You were kind of strong.
Yeah, I was kind of strong, and then I remember getting an inbox from one of the guys from Melbourne, Marco? Yeah, and he's invited me down to Pro Raw.
Straight off the novice comp.
I remember ringing Nat, because Nat was, I think he was in New Zealand.
Did you even know who he was when he messaged you?
No idea.
You're probably thinking, who the fuck
I said,
is
man, I
this
got a
Marcos
message
bloke?
from this guy in Melbourne who said, you come down to Pro Raw, and Nat was just like, are you kidding me? And I was like, well, what is it? He's just like, bro, it's invite only, like, you know, you only if you're
the best of the best.
Yeah, best of the best sort of thing. I was like, oh, sweet, bro. So, because I was going to stop after that.
Big deal?
Yeah. I honestly had no idea, because I was going to stop and just, because it was taxing, man. Like,
I don't even think I remember seeing some videos. Did you even have a belt or anything?
Nah, no belt. No, I might have belted when I squatted. I never belted when I deadlifted, though. And I didn't belt at that time benching either.
Nah. You're just raw brute strength.
Yeah, bro. And then Matty Stenzel used to wrap me knees, which was, bro, painful. So, but yeah, it was, I don't know, I just really enjoyed lifting heavy, and it was just, it was always a good crowd, man, going to old PTC at Northgate there on a Saturday morning. You'd spend a couple of hours, and it was just a good vibe, bro, because obviously come from bodybuilding, which was very isolated, you know, it's just you versus you know what I mean? It's not, you don't have that vibe.
Community,
no community, bro. Whereas the powerlifting community, everyone would, if you're in the gym, everyone would stop, you know, watch you, and it was just good. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're as strong as yourself.
Yeah. So it was good. But then, Pro Raw obviously was a whole different beast in itself. So.
And how'd you go there? What, do you remember your numbers?
Yeah. Squat 332.5, bench 210, and deadlift 330.
For an 872.5 total in the second comp.
Just second comp.
Yeah.
And then the two people that beat you.
Yep.
Were fucking two big dogs now, and Australian legends in Odell Manuel.
Yep.
And fucking Luke Poley.
Yep. Yeah. But they were, obviously, because there was no, well, I think I weighed in maybe at like 115, and those boys were about 150. They were
Luke was
a bit of a weight advantage on me. So, and I think I saw Odell walk out on his first squat. It was close to 400. I was just like, wow. Everyone's playing for second and third here. So it was impressive, man.
Fuck, that's a solid lineup when you think about it. Because again, second comp.
Yeah.
And that comp there, I remember, because Pro Raw 6 is one of the best that I've seen. Coming off the back of Pro Raw 5 when Dan Green and Brandon Lilly came out.
Yeah.
And you had Odell, Luke, yourself, and Tatey. Obviously, you and him in close battle for that third position.
Yep.
Ricky Goodyear, I'm pretty sure that was his last Pro Raw. Mm-hmm. Going up against Nathan Jones.
Yeah, Jones was there, yep.
Fuck, that would have been an unreal fucking experience.
Yeah, it was good, man. Because I didn't know anyone. Like, I went in, everyone's like, oh, you know so-and-so? And I was just like I don't know. I don't know who you are.
I just got this message from this guy named Marco.
Yeah, you know, I didn't know anyone. So it was good, man. It was a good vibe to be down there and around those sort of guys and seeing how strong everyone was. And again, it's the community, man. Everyone supported each other. It was good. It was really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
And then obviously, unfortunately, a few injuries have held you back since then.
Oh, yeah, but it was more like I had a few issues in my personal life, bro. Like I finished Pro Raw. That was the end of 14.
Yep.
And then I took a little break because obviously, like, it's so taxing, man. Like the training.
Yeah, and you went two pretty hectic comps back.
Yeah, I went in really hard, and then I sort of took some time off. And then I came back with I wanted to compete again in 2015, and then I split with my fiance at the time, and honestly, my life spiraled out of control from there. Yeah, and just training, everything went out the window, bro. Work and my whole life sort of imploded for probably 12 months, man. Yeah, so.
And he obviously falling from because that 872, if it was, I'm pretty sure it was an all-time Australian 125 record.
Yeah, at the time. Yep.
At the time.
Yep.
which was like insane.
Yeah,
It would have actually. No, it was. Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to think of 2015. Wayne Haller broke it.
Yeah.
And smashed it. But so yeah, and then obviously with all the personal stuff, what pulled you out of that?
Oh, bro. To be honest, it's probably like when I met my fiance now, who's Shani.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was still training with Nat at, he had campus, then Cube, and then he had campus. I was still training with him a little bit.
Yeah.
And I remember he called me one day and he's just like, he's like, oh, Matty, I don't want you to come into the gym anymore. And I was just like, me and him had the biggest fucking fight on the phone ever. Because I was going through a lot of shit and he knew I was going through a lot of shit. And to me, like, I just didn't, like, he was obviously as my coach and I just didn't feel like he was supporting me through it. Like, he just, to me, it was just like, well, you're having all these dramas, like, fuck, I don't want to deal with it, fuck off. So we had a massive barney and then I was like, well, fuck it, I'm not training there anymore, sort of thing. And then I just sort of, this spot, like I met a bunch of guys who were all doing some stupid shit and we'd go out all the time and you know what I mean, just that sort of lifestyle, surround myself with some really shit people, you know what I mean. And then I remember we went away to Europe, all of us boys went on a boys trip to Europe in 2016 and I remember being over there and I just had like this epiphany. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what? Like, who are these people I'm hanging around with? What am I doing? And I got home from that trip and I literally cut everyone. I didn't speak to them ever again. I moved out from where I was living. I knew I had to do it and I just cut everyone and I moved out with another guy that I was, one of my clients actually. And then not long after that I met Shan and she wouldn't put up with that sort of shit, you know what I mean? Like, wouldn't put up with it.
I've met Shan, she's a great chick.
Yeah, straight shooter, you know what I mean? And she was all, it's like she knew me a little bit and knew who those guys were and just wouldn't put up with it at all. So she sort of really helped pull me out of that. And then I stepped out of the industry and I went back to mum and dad, because mum and dad used to own the news agency in the middle of the Queen Street Mall, Rankins.
Yeah.
So
no way.
Yeah, that was my family.
Legacy there.
I said to dad, listen, like, I'll come work for you guys because I knew that if I worked for them, he'd keep an eye on me and make sure that I'd turn up to work. And I still felt I felt like if I went back to PT and I was my own boss, I just wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be responsible, bro. I'd start, you know what I mean?
With that, where you were in your life at that time.
Yeah, it was a mess. You know what I mean? So I needed some structure. So I went back and worked for mum and dad for a bit, and then I went to New Strength. So
that's right. Over there.
Yeah, over there.
And that was a good fucking. It was kind of
it's what I needed at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that stepping stone forward.
Yeah, exactly. To get back into the industry, because I've always loved coaching, bro. I love training. I love coaching, but New Strength was very. Man, it was when I look back, it was hard. Like, very structured, very like, but at the same time, it was very black and white. It's like it's our way or it's the highway. So there was no grey with what they were trying to preach, and I was all for it. I believe in aspects of what they did, but I didn't fully believe in everything. You know, to me in the fitness industry, there's no one size fits all. There's not one diet for everyone. There's no training program for everyone. And we sort of butted heads a bit. And I was there for about 12 months before I realised, listen, I'm happy to go out on my own now and just do my own thing. And then I stepped out and went to Fit As.
But it's good for you, like for yourself, you know, having that reflection back, going, fuck, I needed that at the time. You know, I needed that structure. I needed those constraints to build what you've done now. And you're doing some pretty awesome shit in the industry, man. Now.
Yeah. Well, I suppose like the harsh lessons I learned at New Strength have sort of helped me now to sort of realise, like, I'm a lot more structured with my business. I'm a lot more, I know what I want now. I don't, like, back when you start PTing, bro, you sort of take on any clients and you know what I mean? You just do whatever. If someone comes to you and goes, hey, I want to get fit for a triathlon, oh, sweet, man, I'll help you out. You know what I mean? For me,
triathlons?
Yeah. But for me now, it's...
You look at Matt, who's a $1.18, you're like,
yeah,
I can't really know anything about triathlon.
Nah, you know what I mean? But now I'm just like, like, I get people inquiries and stuff from girls and that, and I'm just like, listen, like, I don't take on, I take on men. If you want to get lean, you want to get strong, you know, that's just sort of, that's what I do now. I enjoy it. I'm energized in sessions. I just found over, like, I've been doing it for 10 years. I just found if I'm not energized in a session and you're doing 9-10 sessions a day, bro, it just kills you.
Fucking oath it does.
You know what I mean? You turn up, you got low energy, and the next one, you're like high energy, and the next one, someone drains you.
We'd all know that the people drain.
Yes.
And they don't intentionally do it. It's not a bad thing. It's just that some people aren't fit. How many people have we coached and we're just like...
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard. Job, right?
Yeah, it becomes...
And that's not why you went back.
No, that's right. You know what I mean? So it's sort of... Yeah, I just realised, listen, like, you got to special. Like, to me, you got to specialise in something and be known. Like, you guys are known. You're strength coaches. That's just if you want to get strong, you go see you guys. You know, they're not going to come to see you to lose 20 kilos and get fit. You know what I mean?
It's just and I think same thing with nutrition though. If someone comes to me for nutrition, I'm like, I just had a fucking Danish from flour and chocolate.
Exactly.
Go down. No.
Exactly right. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, what are you good at? What do you enjoy? And do that. You know what I mean? I always say I train a lot of trainers now. I say to them, listen, like a knee surgeon does knees. You don't, like someone who wants a shoulder recon doesn't go to a knee surgeon and go, oh, I got this shoulder. He could do it. You know what I mean? He probably could, but he wouldn't do it as good as a fucking knee surgeon. You know what I mean? So when
your shoulder may just only hinge after that.
Exactly right. You know, so it's like, well, don't be afraid to sort of say, nah, this is what I do. This is what I'm good at, because people will find you when you're known as the guy who does A, B, or C. People will come to you. You know. And
from that, I want to get you on because you've started the Reinventing the Man program. Would you call it? Yeah. Tell us a bit about that. What does that go into?
Yeah, well, that's sort of based on my own experiences as well, because obviously, like when my world fell apart, I stopped training. I was just not eating right and felt like shit, and then I sort of used that to say, well, there's a lot of guys that are probably not in that position, but they could be, say, they're really busy with work or they got a family and stuff, and they're just so with that, but they're not looking after themselves. So it's like it's a program designed to like. I don't care how busy you are. I don't care, if you're a dad. I don't care if you're a CEO. I don't care what's going on in your life. But this program, find some time to look after yourself and set your foundations. Because when you're good and you're solid and you're feeling good about yourself and your energy level's up, you're getting enough sleep, you drop your stress, you get some strength in the gym and all that. And I also try and create a community I introduce all my clients to each other. I go and do things with them. Like I'll go take them all to recovery science. We'll all do a session. So people get to meet each other, bro. Because I find there's not many chances in life where guys can meet other guys. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Unless you work together, unless you do stuff, it's like, it's hard to make, like at school and stuff, for example, it's easy. You know what I mean? But as you get older, it's like, well, unless you're going out to a bar or whatever, how do you meet? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like to connect people, bro, and just be like, let's do stuff. So, you and you can, he does real estate and he does this, maybe that you guys can do some work together down the track. And it's just all about that, mate. Making a community for guys to come in, feel good, get strong, learn about nutrition and training and just have a good time, mate. Yeah. Really, because that's what energizes me. If you want to be ultra strong, cool, I can do that. I can help you too, but it's not like, I'm not trying to take the athletes, you know what I mean? Try and take your everyday dad or your everyday guy, and get him feling good about himself. Because if he's feeling good about himself, mate, who knows what he can do in his own personal life, whether it's 100%. Work related or a relationship that he might be in or, whatever that may be.
Yeah, man, that's fucking sick. You can see how energized you got just talking about it.
Yeah. That's pretty rewarding to see the changes you see in your clients. Someone coming down who's obviously a bit down and the rest of the reasons they're coming to train with you, and then all of a sudden they've got a new mate they've made at the gym because of you, and
exactly.
They've lost a few kilos, fucking got a bit more energy. Like
it
must
is
be pretty cool.
It's not like obviously the physical results are great, and I'll post them on socials because people love
that's
seeing.
What creates buy-in.
It's a business. I run a business and stuff, but I always say to all of them, the physical side is secondary to everything else, bro. Like
100%.
If you improve your confidence and you got more energy and you're more effective in your job, or you had a realization that I'm in this relationship, I don't actually want to be in this relationship, I'm out, whatever that may be, then that's the sort of stuff that I'm like, yeah, fuck, man, that's sick. You know what I mean? Because that's what life's about, bro. To me, you know what I mean.
You challenge them to make a change and they're stepping up.
Yeah, I always say, it sounds corny, everyone says it, but it is to be the best version of yourself, bro. Because if you are, then I know for a fact, man, when I'm not the best version, it affects every fucking aspect of my life.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like if I'm not training well or I don't feel good about myself or whatever's going on, the energy sort of zaps in every fucking aspect, So I just like to create that atmosphere for guys to just feel good about themselves, take that into their own world and see what happens, man. And it's amazing the stories, those sort of stories, when I can see a guy come into the gym and he's no confidence and stuff the first few sessions, and 6 months down the track, he's walking, shoulders back and he's like, oh, fucking, rah, it's
What's one of the most rewarding, I guess, results you've come out of that, or stories you've seen?
Ooh, there's a few. Man, I've probably been training a guy for 2 years now, and he first came to me, bro, and he was overweight and just lost, man, lost with his career, and just he's someone who's just really defeated. Yeah, you can tell they're just defeated, bro. You know what I mean? Always look at things and be really negative all the time. And sessions at the start, I was always like, fuck, man, this guy used to drain me. But it was a challenge to me to go, you know what, I got to try and help this guy see the positives and, try and turn it around. And it took a long time, but now, bro, he's gone from making, in his job where he was sort of making okay money, and he's making unbelievable money now sort of thing, which is, I mean, it's not just about that too, but it just goes to show where he's got to with his confidence in himself. And obviously his physical results are great, but it's more like the person that he was. I remember I used to take him to some social events with my mates, and bro, it was so fucking awkward. You know, when you take someone and like they're real socially awkward and you're like, you almost got to like, oh man, I used to cringe and like feel bad. And like the boys after would be like, oh bro, fucking, it's like they didn't want me, I knew they didn't want me to invite him.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I can't do that, man, because like I'd feel so bad. But I kept inviting him, and now it's like he's got this new group of mates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it's so good, bro, because he didn't have any friends. You know what I mean? I don't know what that would be like as a full-grown man to not like he lives by himself, no missus, and if you had no friends, bro, you'd be so fucking lonely. Like, and I've always looked like I've always through my life, even through school and stuff, I've always helped guys that like if I knew they're a good person, I've always wanted to help them.
Yeah.
You know, for whatever reason, but I feel sorry for you, man. Like I can see that you got a good heart, you're a good person, but
you just don't know how to do these things.
Yeah, you just don't know how to talk to people. You're a bit socially awkward and stuff. Like, let me take you under my wing, teach you what I know, and try and help you, I suppose. Because I've always wanted to be like, when I finished school, I did 2 years of a teaching degree, and then I always wanted to be like a paramedic. So it's always, I look now and I'm like, I've always wanted to like help.
Here.
Yeah, I want to help and teach. You know what I mean? I think my next step in my career from PT is going to be education.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I want to teach and help.
That's fucking sick, dude.
Something in the sort of men's health, men's sort of.
I'm sort of working on. I'm working on something at the moment for PTs, man, because I train a lot of PTs, and a lot of PTs I talk to, I ask them the same questions and just probe them about their business and how do they attract clients and how do they retain clients, what's their systems and stuff. And I'm finding that a lot of PTs, mate, have no idea, like none, no systems. They don't know how to run a business, because the thing is, you can be the best fucking coach ever. You can write the best programs and whatever. If you don't know how to run a fucking business, you're in trouble. You know what I mean? And that's where I think a lot of PTs get to that point where they're like, holy shit, like when you run a PT business, it's everything. It's face to face, and it's doing all the stuff behind the scenes. You've got to run your own business. You've got to pay your own tax. You've got to also do your own marketing, and and I don't think they understand. So I think
it's something that we trickle back, and we've said it multiple times. Like, you look at the fitness courses out there,
bro.
Nobody told me I had to pay myself tax and shit and super and all this sort of stuff.
Exactly right. You know what I mean? So I'm working on designing like a teaching course for PTs to be like, look, I'm going to teach you everything that they should have taught you in your Cert 3 and 4 to help you to be able to run a successful business. Because I think a lot of people go into PT and go, oh, yeah, I can make good money. I can charge $100 an hour. I can do this, and this. Like, yeah, but if you don't know how to run a business,
people there, you can't charge shit.
Exactly right. So I want to help PTs to be able to structure themselves from the get-go. Because if you square away all the things behind the scenes and you've got a good system and you know what you're doing with your money, you know what you're doing with all that, and you can plug that into the system, then you can be a really good trainer face to face. You don't have, because for 10 years, like probably for 6 years of my, like first 6 years of my career, bro, I had no idea. I made every fucking mistake in the book. Taking on clients I shouldn't have, not paying tax, not saving enough money, you know what I mean? Not marketing well enough, just also being an athlete, putting myself first before my clients, especially when I was like competing, it was all about me. And if I wanted to cancel sessions because I'd had a big session, I'd do that. You know what I mean? And it was just like all the mistakes that you can make, I made them. And I want to teach PTs, like, listen, learn from like my 10 years experience, set yourself up like this. And you can have a 30, 35, 40 year career as a PT. And you can, because I don't know if they look at it like a long-term thing. So I'll do PT for a bit, see how I go, and then I'll do something else. Like I know so many PTs that they were doing it for a bit, and then they're doing, and I'm like, well,
10 years in the game, bro. How many do you still remember from the first year?
Were you?
Yeah.
Mick? It's probably, I can count on one hand.
Actually, yeah. The only people that are still in this industry that I know from Good Life when we were there, because we ended up working together at Champside as well, is myself, Matt, Michael Lee. I ran into Christian the other day.
Christian, I remember Christian. Yeah.
I ran to him at fucking IKEA.
Yeah, right. He's still training, obviously.
Yeah, he's still training.
Yeah,
I just found that I run because he's Swedish and he's at IKEA.
Yeah.
And Sam Bandera.
Yeah, Sam. I remember Sam.
Yeah. Yep. Like he's got his own gym over in. Sorry, bro.
He was doing stuff at home for a fair while, wasn't he?
Like, he was, and then they moved. He and Sean Murray.
Yeah, I know Sean Murray.
They opened up Renegade Conditioning, and they've got a fucking sick system.
Yeah, that's good.
They're killing it.
Yeah.
And they're the only 5 that I know are still in the industry today from when we all worked together.
Yeah.
And how many coaches would you have crossed paths with?
Hundreds, thousands, bro. And I think like it just goes to show, like, I got into training because I had a passion for training myself. Mm-hmm. That was the first. That was my. I like training. Or sweet, if I can make a career out of training other people, that'd be pretty fun. You know what I mean? Like that's what first got me into it. But I don't know what, like, if you're not going into it with like a real passion for it, like, for example, coronavirus that's hit now, it's wiped out. I think it's good and bad, but I think it's good that it's got rid of a lot of people that aren't really like serious.
That, right?
Yeah. Exactly right. You know, now, you know, the guys that are still here, still around, are the ones that love it and they're really passionate about it. You know what I mean? Because if you're not passionate about training people and you're not passionate about caring for others and other people's results, it's going to be a hard time for you as a trainer. You know what I mean? Because
fucking oath, man.
A trainer's, it's not so much about, like I said, it's not so much about the training programs and, you know, this exercise and that. It's more, it's really customer service and it's building relationships with people.
100%.
That's what it is. You know what I mean?
I think that has to take, in some aspect, like you need to upskill, you need to educate,
yes,
and be a master of your craft.
Yes.
You can't master a craft if you can't practice it, and if you don't have people in front of you,
exactly
you're
right.
fucked.
Exactly right. And that's another good point, man. I don't think enough trainers are upskilling themselves either.
Oh gosh,
you know what I mean? Like, 'cause I think I talk to a lot of trainers, and it's almost like an air of arrogance where they think they know not everything but a lot. And I'm like, man, I've been doing this for 10 years. I still fucking don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know a lot, but if there's an opportunity to learn, bro, I'll take it. Like, if someone comes up and does a workshop, I've been to Eugene TOs, I've been to strength coaches, I follow, like subscribe to different people's websites and stuff, because you can always learn, man. Always. You know, there's always things. The fitness industry is a funny thing, man. It always evolves and there's always things that come on.
Man, like, there's always a new study coming out with more information and it's like, fuck.
Yeah, I know, but
it's almost like,
I've been thinking this way for so long, and now someone's saying
but
this.
But it's also really good to be wrong.
Exactly right.
Isn't it? And you look back on some of the shit you did a few years ago.
Yeah, well, it's when I first did my bodybuilding show, and we didn't know any, but I seriously knew when I first came into the industry, I knew nothing about nutrition. Nothing, you know what I mean? Because they didn't teach us in our course.
Fuck.
And like Mick was, mate, 6 weeks before I stepped on stage, it was white fish and greens for 5 meals a day.
Jesus Christ.
No shit. You know what I mean? So it's just like...
Fucking would have got lean.
Right, I got lean, but I felt like shit at the same time, you know? So it's sort of like... But I take that from there and I go, well, what we know now about comp prep is just... It's so different. It's so different.
Man,
it is, man, you know? And you've got to be able to adapt with that sort of stuff, you know, and just be like, well, okay, I thought this was right, but maybe I'm not.
But, like, how do you think that's... Because I've spent a lot of time, especially during COVID, because, you know, all I had was time.
Yeah, we all did.
I remember listening to a podcast, was it with Flex Wheeler?
Mm-hmm.
When he was doing his comp prep and he was being coached, I won't even say because I'll fuck it up, but the only thing he was allowed to eat was red meat.
Only red meat.
Only red meat.
Yeah, wow, jeez.
And like he had other you know, fucking macronutrients and micronutrients around that and all that sort of stuff. But you know, your traditional chicken, boiled chicken, all this sort of shit. Where did that come from?
I don't know, man.
Is it just because it was easy?
Well, I think for me it was just someone told me to do it. I knew everyone else. That's just what they did. So back then it was sort of like, it was just if so-and-so told you and everyone was doing it, you didn't question it, you just did it.
Yeah.
Whereas now if someone tells me something, I'll be like, I'll have a look into that myself and see if that's, you know.
Now
right.
it's kind of we kind of adopted the mindset of question everything.
Yes, exactly.
And then question everything in a way of, I want to learn more. I want to understand.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if you learn more, you're going to be a better coach, man.
100%.
You know what I mean? Your clients will be better clients, and they like you want to teach them stuff that then they can teach their friends, and so on and so on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm all about long-term sustainability with all nutrition, with training, and everything else. Like, my goal would be with my clients to be like, listen, I can train you for a certain period of time, but my goal would be to be able to step away and however long it takes. But then you know, man, you can eat like this, and you know if you train like this, you're gonna be good. You know what I mean? I don't make clients reliant on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The goal should be autonomous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Autonomy.
Make them autonomous.
Autonomous. Yeah.
That's right. You got it in the end.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's what I'm about with my coaching. So.
Fuck yeah, that's sick, man.
Yeah.
And now going back to yourself, I guess a little bit more with your current injuries.
Oh yeah, injuries. Yeah.
Will we ever see you back on the platform?
Well, like I said to you before, like when I was powerlifting, I was always. We all had something going on back then, you know what I mean? Everyone was smashing the old Voltaren tabs, and it was either sore elbows or knees or backs or whatever. For me, there was always something in my hip, but I didn't know sort of thing. I'd always go and get massages, needling from Stenzel, and it would sort of go away, and I was like, is it just tight muscles? Is it just something like that? And I did that for years, and then all of a sudden I was like, nah, something's not right. Like I wasn't sleeping properly anymore. I was it would just ache standing, and I was like, so then Maddie said to me, look, listen, you're gonna have to go for MRIs. So I went and got MRIs done, and my doctor referred me to a couple of surgeons, and I went and saw 3 surgeons before I saw the surgeon that I'm going to see now, and they all pretty much said the same thing. They all said, "Listen, you're so far beyond like a clean out, like an arthroscope, and because my bone's so big and my leg's so big, they're like it's because they've got to pull it out of the socket.
You got a big bone,
big bone, bro, big bone,
big bone with some big quads attached to it."
And they all said, "Listen, hip replacements," and I was just like, "Fuck!" So then I'd go see the next surgeon, and he'd be like, "You need hip replacements." So I was like, "Mate, I'm 31. Like, are you kidding me?" And then I'd go to another one. He said the same thing, and then someone referred me to Patrick Weinrausch at the Brisbane Hip Clinic, and he said to me, "Listen." He's more like helps athletes get back to being athletes.
Yeah. That's cool.
And he said to me, "Listen, there is 2 options. You do hip replacement or you can do hip resurfacing." So I was like, "Well, what's the difference?" And hip resurfacing, they don't cut your bone, and it's just sort of they pull it out, clean the head,
pull it out.
Yeah, they pull it out and they put like a steel cap on the end. But like a hip replacement is they cut your femur and stick like a full new one down there. And I was like, "Oh wow!" So this is less invasive, but they put a steel cap over it, clean my hip joint out as well. So it's like
full grease and all change.
Yeah, pretty much. And he's like, "Look, you'll be able to go back and squat heavy if you want, and dead and all that sort of stuff if you want to." And I'm like, "I don't know if I want to go super, super heavy. I'll just have to see how I recover and everything else. But it's time to get it done."
Luckily...
Well, yeah, like we said earlier, I think we put you in a squat suit.
Keep it
nice and tight, nice and safe,
Mate, I'll be back on the platform doing something because I love it, mate. I love it.
Yeah,
and I love it.
We definitely know that you love knee wraps as well.
Oh, bro. Get stencil back and wrapping my knees. God.
Fucking glorious.
Yeah. No, I do. Honestly, I love it. Because the other thing is, like, I love... All my clients lift heavy, you know what I mean? And, like, it was hard at the start when I was taking on clients... Because I was always stronger than all my clients.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I was an athlete first, and like people would come to me because they knew I was strong, and it was hard to shift from do as I say, but not as I do anymore. Because I can't, like, I can dead. I could probably pull 300, no shit, but I couldn't walk for 2 days because my hips are fucked.
There's no doubt we could load 300 right now.
I got some blood 7 plates.
No shit, but
we got plates.
I can't squat. I can't squat. Like I literally, you put 60 kilos on a bar, I just can't get depth because of the pain. So it's like it's hard now to not be able to do that, and then go out. Say if you boys were all having a training, so I used to love coming and going and training with the boys, lifting heavy and that camaraderie and stuff. And it was hard to sort of be like, I'm coaching you to lift heavy, but I can't do it myself anymore. Yeah. Because I always thought you had to be someone who was really strong to be a good coach. And that adjustment period, I go, no, you don't. You don't have to be fucking strong, like really strong to be a good coach. You know what I mean?
Fuck no.
You know what I mean? Because that mindset coming back from back in the day was always be a good athlete first. The same with bodybuilding. If I was shredded and competing, people would know, oh yeah, I'll go see him. Yeah. If I'm strong and I'm powerlifting, but he must be a good coach because he's strong. Yeah. But that's bullshit. You don't need to be, but it took me a long time to go, well, do I have to be, don't I? But it's like, no, you don't, man. You don't have to be like that. But, and now I coach guys that, could probably lift more than me now, but I love it. I love it, man. You know what I mean?
I'm enjoying seeing some of your boys like hit some fucking big shit on the socials.
Yeah. They love it. And that's what I mean. I want to get them around like a good crew. The other thing is, man, at Fit As, we're not like a strength gym, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like some of my boys are strong, but I mean, you put them in, Valhalla, you put them in 0W, it's like, they're not strong compared to the, some guys. But it'd be good to get them around there and go, oh shit, these boys are lifting that. Oh yeah, I can, give them a bit of confidence.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It kind of exposes them to a whole new like level of where they could possibly take it.
Exactly right. Because if you're the strongest in the room, bro, it's like, what's pushing you?
Yeah, if you're the smartest or strongest in the room. Like,
I always say to my guys, you want to go somewhere and be the weakest in the room, because then you're gonna that's gonna drive you to be better. You know what I mean?
And that's always like, I've always looked at that quite. There's got to be another side of that, because we look at people like Odell, and let's take Luke Polly, who's a very classic. He's a very well known on this podcast. Poor guy gets railed every week.
Got a big head.
The biggest head.
He's he does have a big head actually. But of course he should be well known, mate. He's had an unbelievable career. But anyone's just powerlifting knows Luke Polly.
You take him in any gym in Brisbane.
Yep.
He's the strongest.
Yep.
It's got to be that. And I'm going to ask you, Matt, from you've had a very professional career in rugby, powerlifting, and bodybuilding.
Yep.
When you are the strongest in the person, where do you drive from? Is it an internal thing? Is it your own? Is it your own yourself? Because like I look at Luke, I'm like, he's still pushing big numbers. Like, Yeah,
I think you
it's
have
got
to
be
have
an internal.
Yeah, it has to, man. It has to be, because like. I mean, you can watch other guys and be like, oh, so-and-so, I want to be as strong as him. Yeah. And so on, look at guys and be motivated by that. But I mean, that'll only get you so far. You know what I mean? Like that won't keep you going to the gym every day to train if you're 100%. Feeling tired or whatever. There's a level that I think that a standard that you know that you can be. Mm-hmm. For me, I was always like, I know that I can be here. Yeah. Like person, I don't care what anyone says or how strong anyone. Like, I never cared about anyone else. You know, if, so and so can lift this one. I don't give a fuck, bro. Like I just want to be the best, the strongest guy I can be. And I know if I say I can do it, I'll do it. Do you know what I mean? So it came from just like it's like a crazy internal belief in yourself and wanting more. Yeah. Wanting more, bro. You always got to. And then the point where you don't want more anymore, that's when you stop. In anything, I think. You know what I mean? Whereas sport, powerlifting, bodybuilding, whatever. You know what I mean? Because it was when I was powerlifting, bro. Like no matter what number my coach would put on the bar, I'd fucking lift it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just wanted to be the best at what I could be, but I didn't bother me with the awards and competing against others. Like that was cool, but it was more like I feel like you kind of went an advantage not knowing who these other people were. Yeah. And I was the same when I played rugby, bro. Like we'd go against the side and someone would be like, oh, you know, Will Genya and so and these guys are in. And I'm like, I don't know, bro. I haven't looked at the team sheet. Like it doesn't bother me. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I think it's just more. Yeah, it's hard to explain, man. It's just a deep belief system in yourself and your expectations of yourself and your own standards. You know what I mean? Yeah. And just expecting more of yourself and just going. And if you miss a lift, just back to the drawing board. You know? Yeah, absolutely. And go again. Yeah. It's fucking sick. But I don't know. There's also external factors, bro. Like you know, like competition's good. You know, and if you know there's a guy out there who's slightly stronger than you and you want to beat him, well, that'll drive 100%. You too. You know what I mean? But then what happens when you beat him? You know, and if you are like Odell, what pushes him? Yeah. Because no one in Australia is stronger than him. Fuck no. You know what I mean? So he's not many people that can do what he does. No. There's not many people that can miss an opener at 440 twice and come back and squat 470. Yeah. It's fucking insane. What I mean. So his internal belief system or what he expects from himself would be really high. Fucking and he must know in his mind, I know I can do it. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I know. And then you because especially in powerlifting, if you don't believe in yourself, if you walk up to a bar and you're double guessing, you're done. Yeah. You're done straight away. You know what I mean? You've got to already know that you've done it or you've pictured yourself lifting it and that's it, you know? Yeah. Fucking oath. So, now, what's next for you? Hip surgery. Locked in, is it? Yeah, locked in November 4. So, I mean, from now, it's me. It's more. I'll get that squat suit sorted for January. Yeah, sort of out January. Awesome. Or maybe February, maybe November 5th, if it's on November 4th. Oh, yeah, true, 5th, yeah. Yeah, that'll be fine. We'll keep it all in. But no, it's just, man, now it's just, I'm in a really good rhythm with work and it's more just about, like, obviously COVID threw a big spanner in the works and we had to go outside and I was training people outside for a while and that, but it's good to be back in the gym and now it's just more about, I don't know, I've sort of found the clients that are coming to me now they're a lot different to the clients that were coming to me pre-COVID. Yep. Like the clients that are coming now, I think they've made that realization that I really do want to train. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like the ones that I had a lot of clients that haven't come back, bro. Yep. I've had clients train with me 3-4 days a week for like a year. COVID hit and they still haven't been back to the gym. Not just to train with me, they have not been back to the gym at all. Wow. And you're like, why? You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like obviously they had a passion for training, but then but maybe not what they thought. You know what I mean? So a lot of clients I'm getting now are very better quality. You know, they want to be there. You say, hey, let's do this, they do it. And it's just, I'm in a really good rhythm with work, man. So I just want to keep building that up, keep working on this thing behind the scenes, the PT course. Yep. Keep chipping away at that because the other thing is when I have my hip surgery, I'll be off work for a certain period of time. So it'll give me a chance to do a lot more work. I need something to do because I won't be able to drive for a month. Fuck. Even though, like, I don't think you'd be the kind of guy that'd be good at doing nothing either. Nah, bro. Like, I get fucking. We just need you to sit on the couch for the next 4 weeks. Thanks. No, thanks, mate. Like, but I'll be walking because I mean, my surgeon said as soon as I come out of surgery and I wake up, I got to be on my feet. Yeah. Because it's a weight-bearing joint. They want you walking and stuff. So I'll be able to walk in that, but I don't know how much time I'll need off work. But in that time, that's why I'm working on this course. So that'll give me time to just work on the content, get everything out, and then hopefully I can launch, like some workshops early next year. Yeah. And then obviously build myself up with my rehab and start lifting some heavy weights again would be ideal for me. Yeah. Absolutely. And I still have a passion to bodybuild, bro. To be honest, like I'm training with Tim McKinnon. Fuck yeah. Yeah, Timmy's been really good, man. Like he's very smart at the way that he looks at training. Because you look at Tim, bro, he's a giant. Like he is fucking massive, bro. And every session I turn up, I'm just like, fuck, bro. And he just looks at like how to get the body bigger in certain angles, how to manipulate certain things. And you're like, fuck, I've been training for 10 years. I've never thought about doing a tricep skull crusher like that. Fuck, man. You know what I mean? Like he's very smart. So I'm training with him just to sort of keep me at a certain size, because I know that when I have surgery, things are going to, I'll probably lose a bit of size because I can't train so much and that. But I do have a goal to step on stage as well again.
Fuck yeah,
So
dude.
I'd probably do that, like build my strength up slowly, but
Well, there we go.
compete first on a bodybuilding show.
Sweet.
And then see how I go with that, see how my hips go with everything, and then, just keep training.
Then we'll do a powerlifting comp.
Powerlifting comp down the
sweet.
track.
Locked in.
Yeah.
Thinking, what, deadlift comp next
Or maybe
next
push
December.
pull.
Yeah, push pull, lovely.
possibly.
Good.
Like in all seriousness,
in a
maybe.
suit, yeah.
Possibly. In a suit, I can try a suit, mate.
Yeah, I'll get you one.
Squatting, I don't know. I don't know about the squats.
We'll do a bench shirt. You fucking bench shit.
Bench shirt.
He would in a bench shirt.
300. We'll get
Yeah, I've never
multiply
used
too.
a bench shirt before.
You don't really want it, to be honest.
Nah,
it's shit ass.
Yeah, I'd like to just stay the way I was, mate. But yeah, no, that's sort of my plan anyway.
That's fucking
Keep
sick,
chipping
man.
away, yeah.
Fuck. Now, before we wrap up, we've got 10 of the most important questions you'll ever be asked.
All right.
I forgot about these questions. These are good.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
these are really good. They're a lot better than the fucking last 10, so you're lucky.
Okay, sweet. What, do they change every podcast? Or
Every 10 episodes.
So
Okay.
just in case, occasionally sometimes people listen to our podcast and they've listened to they've worked out the questions.
Yeah, right. You change
So,
it up on
yeah,
them.
we change it up.
Mix it up.
We actually
All right,
give people
this
anxiety.
is a
because
demonstration.
they
This
mix
is one for the YouTubers. Can you fit your fist in your mouth?
I cannot, mate.
it up. Look at the size of that mitt.
Oh, that's big fit.
That is
yeah.
a fuck.
I'm not even going to try, mate.
That would be fucking.
What is your biggest regret?
Ooh, my biggest regret. Mate, to be honest, to be absolutely honest, it was when I cheated on my ex-fiancée. Biggest regret in my life. Yep.
Who is the most attractive person in the world?
Shani Cox.
Oh, that's his filter.
Yeah, baby. Where will you be and what will you be doing 10 years from now?
I'll still be a PT. I still enjoy doing my one-on-one PT stuff. But like I said before, I'd like to be in an education sort of role, helping other PTs or
Sick.
that sort of thing, man. So just help with the industry. I think the industry needs that.
Yep.
Absolutely. There's a
yeah.
huge gap there.
There's a massive gap there. Yeah.
What day's your bin day, bro?
My bin day, mate. I actually couldn't tell you. I live in a unit, so I don't know. Well, I can find out for you and let you know. I'll get back to you guys.
Yeah, drop us a text on that.
Yeah. I do hit the garbage truck some ridiculously early time at like a 5:30 one day during
You
the
live
week.
in
It wakes me
Kangaroo
up.
Point. It has to be
Yeah,
super early.
Kangaroo Point, because they take that massive bin
It
out.
might be a Wednesday.
Could be a Wednesday, bro.
It could be a Wednesday, I reckon.
Yeah, I'll get back to you, but
Now, you can only squat or deadlift for the rest of your life. What's it going to be?
squat.
What are you most thankful for?
Living in Australia.
What's one thing on your bucket list?
I think on my bucket list.
These are good questions.
Yeah, they're very good questions. Man, that's a tough one. Travel for me is big, man. Like I love travel. I've done a lot of traveling. I'd love to get back to Europe. Actually, funny story, this year I was meant to go to Italy and Greece, and I was going to propose to my girlfriend in Santorini in the Greek islands, but obviously we couldn't get there because of COVID, so I had to do it here. So I had it all planned and everything ready to go. But yeah, I'd love to get back and just more travel, mate. I love it. Yeah, that sucked.
Fuck,
Yeah,
sorry, bro.
Yeah, that's all right, man.
How did you do it here?
Just did it at home, mate, to be honest. Like, my mindset was, look, I bought the ring in Christmas last year, so I'd been sitting on it for we were meant to go in August. So I was like, fuck, it's going to be hard enough to sit on a ring for 7-8 months, you know what I mean?
Fucking
And then sort of COVID hit and all that, and I was like, well, we're definitely not going. And I was like, well, what can I do? I could do something here, but nothing's going to be that like that, you know what I mean? So I asked her at home to marry me, and I just said, listen, this is what the plan was, this is what I was going to do, and hopefully one day we can get there and I'll reenact it or something like that, you know what I mean, on our honeymoon or something.
Just real quickly, where did you hide this ring?
Mum and Dad's place.
Oh, smart.
Yeah.
Real smart.
Well played.
Because if I had it at home, bro, like she either would have found it or I just would have been looking at it all the time. You know what I mean? Because I always wanted to keep those.
What was it still? Oh, that's
Still there. So,
What did you want to be when you were younger, like a real young junior burger? What did you want to be?
professional footy player.
What's your greatest fear?
Ooh, that's a good question too. Greatest fear. I reckon, like, for me, man, letting people like my family down, or letting people that I value their opinions of me, letting them down. That's always like I hate doing that, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah.
One question that I did get asked to ask you before this podcast.
By who?
I can't tell who. How do you get your teeth so white?
They are nice.
Mate, I brush twice a day for a start.
How long do you brush for?
Well, my electric toothbrush lets me know, bro. So it beeps at me when it's done.
Oh,
probably
they
about 2
do that
minutes.
now?
Yeah, probably about 2 minutes, I'd say. But I honestly, like I'm a flosser, bro,
Yeah.
every meal. I can't stand having anything. Like I'll probably floss 5-6 times a day after every meal. I just can't stand shit in my teeth. Yeah. And then I used to whiten them. I used to get an at-home whitening kit, but I actually just went to another place and got them whitened the other day. So
lovely.
Yeah, they're fucking.
They are money.
They are. That's the money shot right there.
So yeah.
I also like.
I can give you the details of the.
Yeah, please do. We'll chuck that up.
Yeah. She's just up the road here, actually.
Slide into your DMs for teeth advice.
Yeah, mate, do it. Please do. Anyone can do that. And I'll let them know.
I do also love that question about who's the most beautiful person on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's going to say their partners. This guy said his partner, and then it was like, oh wait, no, Scarlett Johansson. I was just like,
how was that when she heard that?
Is that Ed yet?
No.
Ooh,
That's next week.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, sweet. So we'll just
I guess
know
you're
if
gonna
you
be
can edit
together
that
for
out.
I'm sure you can edit that out.
Mate, this next week probably just start getting the brownie points up, bro.
Yeah, no, it's just like, babe, I love you. Just listen to this one; it's better.
Oh god, that's funny, mate.
Yeah, it's too good, man. Thank you so much. I love what you're doing in the industry with the Reinventing the Man. It's a fucking sick concept, and we'll definitely throw up all the details in the show notes and direct people to where they can find you.
Yeah.
And leads me perfectly to where can people find you?
Mate, they can find me on Facebook, just at Matt Petersen, or Instagram, Matt Petersen _. It's probably the best 2 ways to sort of find
easy
me
done,
now.
man.
Yeah.
Well, man, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. We definitely appreciated it.
Thanks for having me, man.
And we'll definitely get you back on after this hip surgery and see how your rehab's going, bro.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
I'd love to see the journey back to the platform.
Yeah, I'll try and be pretty active on socials about that as well with my recovery and stuff. Because I know a lot of people have reached out to me when I've posted stuff about my hips. So, yeah, I'll be pretty active on socials.
That'd be fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, bro.
Mate, thanks for having me, boys.
Easy.
Thank you. Beautiful.
You'll be careful what you put in your butt, bro.
That's the sort of bugs that people pick up.